Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today this is more of a kind of information video, kind of exploring newer miners in the BitAxe community. And this is actually a massive one which I've come across. I didn't realize that it went back all the way to December 2nd of 2024, but I only came upon it maybe 2 weeks ago when they actually released the 900 series of this, what they're calling the Bittyaxe, so a smaller BitAxe with the same kind of hashing ability, but just a smaller size board. So this is kind of like the first iteration of it. As you can see right here, it's called the Bittyaxe 801. So kind of following from the numbers that you see on a BitAxe board, I believe that the Supra is a 401. So this is kind of like an 801. I believe this is also using the Supra chip. So that would be off an S19J Pro maybe. And you can see it kind of has all of the same features as a BitAxe. So let's just go across here. You can see you have the ESP there, the boot and reset buttons, which are here and here. And then you have the USB-C and you have that same there. And then you have the power connector, which is here, and the power connector by here. So they've actually shrunk it down quite a lot. You have the fan connector here as well. Just want to mention that. So they've shrunk it down quite a lot. I believe it's a reduction of around 40% in terms of the size. You can see that there's kind of custom mounting solutions that are going to be going on this, because the heatsink right here would only attach into here, here, and then maybe into here, if we're kind of looking at it like that. However, with the BitAxe, it would connect in here and in here. So they do have video of this actually hashing if we look here as well. So we can click in here. You can see it hashing, and then when it comes over to Axe OS, you can see if we enlarge this, the hash rate is at 1.2 terahash and efficiency kind of around the same of 15.56, with fairly good temperatures on the ASIC temperature, and the power is around 18.6 watts. So it is basically a near exact clone in terms of the hash rate, power supply, also how much watts it's pulling, and voltage regulator. But it's just at a kind of 40% reduction. I don't think that there's much kind of point necessarily in making one of these smaller and smaller and smaller, because the BitAxe is already small, but it'd be cool to have one of these on the channel. I don't know actually where you get them from. I don't think it's necessarily been released either. But if anyone has any links to buy one of these, then I'd love to see it in the comments below, because we could try and get one for the channel. It does say here from Mine Ops, but maybe that's just the people who designed it and put that design on there. And then you scroll across and you can see this heatsink. So there's no attachment into here, it's just straight across. So this could work kind of for, I believe, water cooling as well, if you really wanted to take it there. I haven't seen anyone else actually have one of these, so I believe that these are the only people that have them. But as I said, this is the 801 series, but we actually have an updated one, and this is the 900 series, which is where I kind of stumbled across it. So you can see here, this is kind of what it looks like in terms of the model. Let's just make this bigger here. Same sort of thing, but 900 series. So they've made some improvements here on the holes to hold the heatsink, and you can see that more clearly displayed here. So you have holes here. They've taken out this rounded edge that they used to have and lined up all the holes. So that might be good for putting different type of heat sinks across the board if you really wanted to. Obviously there's going to be power supply there and the ESP there. They've moved this around as well, so they've moved it across. And they've got a nice logo there which just says Bittyaxe 900. So it's great to see this kind of innovation right there, and you can just see a comparison. This is where the fans will go, I believe. And if we actually take off this, we can read here, I think we've finally reached our final form with the Bittyaxe 900. We managed to shave around 16 millimeters from the 800 series, so the previous one, after assembling the 800 series testing prototype cases and making a few refinements. We've landed on the 900 series that you're seeing here. The real advantage came from designing and manufacturing our own custom heatsink, so the one that we saw previously by there. I don't know if that's going to be the final form, but it's allowing us to optimize the layout further and shrink it down even more. Now it's time to assemble, get it hashing, and move into production. So hopefully we see these moving into production very, very soon. We'll obviously try and get one for the channel, because it's basically a BitAxe gamma, I believe. If we scroll down here, I believe it's a gamma at this point because it's 1.2 terahash, and that's more in line with what a gamma is. So that's an S21 XP chip, I believe. And fingers crossed the Bittyaxe and open source Bitcoin mining hardware enthusiasts can get a hold of it. So obviously people like us and the people watching the video. If we go back to the kind of original post, excited to announce the Bittyaxe 3803 is hashing, delivered impressive performance and efficiency at absolute base level. I don't know in terms of the overclocking, the efficiency, if a smaller board like this is going to be better for efficiency because there's not as much heat running through it. You can kind of see how it's designed in terms of where all the plugins are. So you have the fan here, the chip is underneath there, you have an LCD. I don't think that it's necessary to have the LCD there. You have the power supply there and the USB slot to flash it. And it looks like they're just using a standard kind of black fan there. It just looks like they're using a standard heatsink there and a slightly smaller fan. I believe that these are going to be 40mm as well. So you could definitely use everything that you used on the BitAxe on here as well with a custom fitting that they've shown there. You could even use pretty much all the heat sinks because they all have that cross diagonal attachment as well. And pretty much all the fans as well you can use on there. This is kind of more of a basic one, but even a Nocta fan could go on there as well. So it's great to see kind of some innovation coming out on the actual BitAxe, apart from the people involved at OSMU. People kind of making their own iterations of it. Obviously, I'm not smart enough to kind of develop my own board or anything like that, but it's cool to see these kind of in production. And I think this is going to be the first of many iterations of people taking the BitAxe as it is and trying to convert it into different types of miners, making it smaller, making it different shapes and sizes, and even improving on the original BitAxe design as well. As I said, this is kind of compared to the 400 series, which is the Supra, but I believe that this 900 series that they're showing here is going to be likable to a gamma with the gamma chip under 1.2 terahash. Maybe that can be pushed further. Kind of with all the knowledge that we have already of overclocking and what kind of heat sinks are the best and back fans, stuff like that, you can apply pretty much all of that knowledge onto these because they're nearly the same thing. The only thing that you'd have to manage realistically would be the heat sink, and I'm sure people will come up with some good ideas to manage around that. As I said, hopefully we see this soon. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below, what you think of this, if you think it's really cool, interesting kind of design, making it smaller, if you'd be interested in getting one of these as well. If we do manage to get our hands on one, obviously we'll make a video, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like the video and subscribe for more content like this.